Hey, welcome back to the Anaerobic YouTube channel. So what I want to do today is just something that I started doing actually in the start of 2021, more for the point of view of accountability than anything else, and it kind of lasted until February and then sort of fell apart. So I'm going to start trying to do it again and see if I can keep it going past February. I am the first to admit that I kind of make New Year's resolutions and then they disappear after a while. So this is one of those. So hopefully I'll manage this year to keep this going. But what I'm going to do is just do a check-in on sort of what happened over the previous week. So I've written a blog post about it. This video is going to go into that blog post on enduromike.co.uk. So if you want to have a look at that, it's got random writings about the world of triathlon through my eyes. So the link to that will be in the write-up for this video. Anyway, enough about that. I don't want to bore you with all of that crap. Let's have a chat about what training happened last week. So we're looking at the week of the 3rd to the 9th of January. First week of 2022. I'm going to have a look at a couple of previous weeks on there as well. You can see that December, not really the greatest in December, if I'm honest. From here on in was pretty much COVID. So, yeah, not a lot happened in December. So it seemed quite fitting, I suppose, that if we have a look here, this is a rest week. So quite a nice way to start off training for 2022, I suppose. And my training is kind of structured at the moment towards Ironman Lanzarote. So my rest weeks are all structured in 4-week blocks. So I do 3 weeks work, 1 week rest. So this was the 1 week's rest, just leading up to that race. Anyway, so Monday, dead easy. Foundation bike set. So what does that look like? If we bring it up here, you can see it's a real simple warm up. Main set, cool down. Nice, easy, nothing really to write home about. As I said on the blog post, I always feel whenever I've had some time off that I've lost loads. And I suppose I probably have lost a little bit. My average power was similar to the last time that I did this session. My heart rate was higher, so if you want to use that as a marker, I suppose I have lost a little bit of fitness, but probably not that much. I think I'm overthinking it a little bit. So that was Monday. Nothing really to write home about there. And kind of likewise Tuesday. So you'll see that on Monday and Tuesday, those were bike sessions. Those were done on my watt bike. The reason why both of those bike sessions came back to back, and it's not something that I would usually do, is because we were still on house arrest. So even though I was feeling all right, we didn't actually get released from COVID prison until the 5th. So that was Wednesday. As you can see, from Wednesday onwards, I was making the most of getting out and about. So if we talk about Wednesday, a nice swim set, a little bit of mixed intervals. So warm up, some hundreds, then a little recovery and some 20s. You'll see that if you look at my planning on Training Peaks, you'll see that my sets look a bit weird. And that's because I use a 20-meter pool. So around our area, lots of the pools are quite busy. So the public pools especially, and they're not really that great with lane management. So what I found is that our local Nuffield Health, if I go there, I get a lane to myself, but it's a 20-meter pool. So the trade-off is, do I get a lane to myself and I can execute the session really well, but do it in a less than perfect pool length? Or do I go to the pool that's like 2 minutes away from me, that's 25-meter pool, but keep getting caught up behind people because there's people doing breaststroke in the fast lane? So my thinking is always execute well and don't worry about the distance in the pool. Anyway, enough about that. So nice mixed interval session. That was actually quite nice. I said in the blog, every time I take a week off swimming, and Dan from Swim for Try, if he'll not watch this video, I don't think, but if he does, will concur that every time you don't swim for a week, you kind of forget a little bit how to swim. And I usually feel like that. I always get in the pool and I'm a bit like, oh, what's going on here? But I felt alright. in that session. So happy days. And then little recovery run. You guys saw that recovery run in the video I did last week about those silly bouncing Nike Alpha Fly shoes. These bad boys here. If you want to watch that video, there's a link that should be appearing on the screen somewhere now, yeah? So, recovery run, 30 minutes, nice and easy. And then we kind of started doing a little bit more work towards the end of the week, so back-to-back swim sets. So by the time we got to here, my shoulders were kind of a little bit ready for some rest. Interestingly enough, even though I had time off, I managed to take some time off my critical swim speed. That's what this was critical swim speed test. So if any of you have ever done one of those or want to know what a critical swim speed test looks like, it's pretty much a warm-up of 250, 260 meters for me. Then you do 400 meters flat out, rest for 2 minutes, which is in there. 200 meters flat out, rest for 2 minutes in there, and then I always do a swim off, like an endurance swim at the end of it, just to kind of finish up. Once you've got those numbers, there is a calculation for it, but I'm not going to go into the calculation today. We might do that at a different time. Or you can just Google critical swim speed calculator and bash in your times and it'll tell you. But I managed to take 6 seconds off per 100, which is, I think, the biggest amount I've ever taken off of critical swim speed. So weird. Anyway, so that was that. And then, like, the sessions outside of swimming, so obviously we had back-to-back swim sets, was anaerobic interval running, which, so this one and this tempo set I was kind of dubious about. I didn't know where they would go, just from being, you know, locked up for a while and Christmas and December, not really training that much, but they actually went okay. So I wasn't able to hit the pace that I should have done. So if we look at this one, it was 15-minute warm-up in zone 1 and then dropping into sort of zone 4-ish stuff, zone 4, zone 5, with a 5-minute recovery. So 2.5 minutes and then a 5-minute recovery. Now I wasn't able to hit that pace. I was slightly slower than it, but when I say slightly slower, I was only off by like 2 seconds or 3 seconds. So yeah, happy enough with that. And likewise for this tempo set, but by the end of this run, my legs were done. You know, the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes of this run were not really that enjoyable at all, if I'm honest. So this one was 5-minute warm-up, 10-minute zone 2, 20 minutes there in sort of zone 3, 4, back to zone 2 for 50 minutes, and then 5 minutes cool down. But yeah, the last 10 minutes or so of this were a bit shady, so to speak. And then we got our anaerobic interval bike set. This one was an interesting one. It's the first time I've used my TT bike on the turbo trainer for an extended period of time. You guys who watch my videos will know that I've got a watt bike and I absolutely love it whenever it's behaving itself. But one of my things for this year is that I want to just spend more time on the TT bike before I race long distance this year. So that's what I'm starting to do on the turbo trainer. I've always had a wheel off turbo trainer for bike fitting, so I thought I may as well just fire the TT bike onto it and do some work. But what it thrown up is that there's a big disparity between power generated at the cassette on the wheel off trainer and power generated at the chain set, because I've got a rotor power meter on the TT bike. So I'm going to do a little bit of investigation to find out whether that is my drivetrain losing power or whether it's the turbo trainer not reading accurately. But I will report back on that one. And that was that. Rest week, nice and easy. I should have had a race, but it's one of those ones, you know, that if you race it won't go well. So what about the vital stats? Average weight over the week 82.2, which is quite nice. So I weighed myself on the 1st of January, and I was 84.5 kilos. Lots of Christmas weight in there. That's dropped down to 82.2. I've got another 12.2 to go, but that's a good start. Resting heart rate over the week, average 48, so yeah, a little bit higher than usual for me. I'm normally about 44, 45, but to be expected after December. Got a nice 8.8 hours sleep a night. For some reason through December I was really struggling to sleep, so it's nice to be back doing that again. Generally feeling good. Blood pressure 120/60, which is about normal for me. And if I could spell stress, let's try that. There we go, stress points. 25 average a day. That's just a random number generated by Garmin. I will do some investigation and explain it. It's based mainly around what training you've done, really. So in terms of actual timings and stuff, we had 7 hours 49 minutes planned. I did 7 hours 38 minutes. Usually that's because my swim sets always come under time. So that'll be why that's different. TSS 500 planned, 546, so I went over by a little bit, but not going to worry too much about that. You can see the difference there, 134 and 125, so that's added a little bit into it. And that, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much explaining if you look at the duration on the bike and the run as well. And that's about that. So first week in January, pretty good. I'm happy. This week I've already got, I mean, it's Monday night now, so I've already got 2 sessions out of the way. Just a cheeky foundation session, which is zone 2 on the bike, and some cruise intervals swimming, but we will talk about those next week. If you've enjoyed this video, because you like boring Northern Irish people talking about training, then please do subscribe to the channel and share this video if you wish. Links to all socials and websites and all that kind of stuff are in the write-up below. Thank you very much for lasting this long. My name is Michael Dempster, and hopefully I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.